Hi, everybody. No, I mean 7 o'clock y'all time. I'm on time. Can y'all hear me? Can everybody hear me? I missed y'all so much. Y'all ready to get into it? We gonna have y'all. We gonna have a good night tonight. We have so much to talk about. Hi, everybody. I missed y'all so much. I just wanted to see if how it looked. I'm gonna change it back. I don't like it. Oh no, I can't change it. Oh well. Hey, OSAP. Hi, everybody. Y'all, we have so much to talk about. How many people were in the law and crime chat today? Y'all see, I had time today in law and crime over there. They think they gonna keep bullying me. I got something for them. I love it over there though. I can't lie to y'all. I go from law and crime to cat. Okay, I didn't cry tears, but I almost did cry tears on TikTok today because it's so sad to me what's happening. Okay, so we'll start there because y'all, you guys know that Melnick has a very special. Put my phone on do not disturb. He has a very special place in my heart, and I really can't believe that this happened to him. Um, I was actually my kids started school in Houston this week, so I was actually sitting in the school with my kid when Kat called me and she was like, "Do you know what's going on?" And I'm like, "Going on with what?" And she's like, "Melnick," and I'm like, "No." And so she tells me, and I'm like, "Oh my god!" So I start freaking out. So I didn't know exactly the details yet because the I don't think the decision was all the way released, or we didn't know. Thugger Daily was the first person to post it. Well, AJC then Thugger Daily. Shout out to Thugger Daily, always on time. But um, it completely threw me off, and I called him immediately, and I was like, just let me know what you need. He told me that he was going to a few different courtrooms to, kind of check in with some clients, whatever. So the day is going on, and I decide I am going to check on Woody when court goes on lunch. I called him, and he told me that no one had told him what was going on with Melnick. And I was like, "What do you mean nobody?" He said, "Well, Miss Sylvia said something to me, but can you tell me what's going on?" So he had no idea that he sat up there and testified for, I don't know, maybe 2 hours unrepresented. Um, I told him what I think he should do when he returned into the courtroom, and he made a decision. So now, specifically to Melnick, I guess a lot of you kind of know that the decision resulted in a 6 month suspension, and it is based off of something from 2018. And it is my understanding that he found out when we found out that the decision had come down. I mean, it's not like they told him tomorrow we're going to let you know what's happening or anything like that. So when we found out, he found out. Not passing the smell test, as you guys keep saying. Hold on, my girl on here, y'all. not
Hey,
passing smell test. Hi, everybody say hi to Miss Jefferson.
hi everybody. I see you was talking about my boy Melnick.
Yes, free Melnick.
Man,
I I'm so I asked, I asked myself, like, when is it gonna stop? Every day is something else. Like
every day.
every day.
And you see they hollering today when court ended about possibly more late disclosures, still not giving all the additional information, trying to swamp them with work, supposed to be letting them know where exactly the co-conspirator statements are. Just send over upwards of 200 calls and say figure it out. Like just playing. I did not post yesterday after court, and I think I went live yesterday, maybe late at night, like after I got a bunch of messages, like, "Where are you? What happened?" Because I was so the stuff that was getting ready to come out of my mouth. I'm like, they set Melnick up, and I didn't have any proof of that. I don't know this man ever, but I had no way of knowing. Here, I just had to do it for you. Take it to that. I
Oh,
had
I
no way.
said,
I just felt it. I was like, the timing of this, like, where did this come from?
because initially when she said, I'm like, oh my God, what happened? I'm thinking it's something from this case. And when no, I didn't, and I did not break down crying actual tears, but I was very close to it because I'm so discouraged at this point. And what I said on TikTok today was, one, it's very scary that he has been suspended because I feel like I'm next. Like what? So I'm like, I told them, like, I'm calling all my clients, everybody, like, oh, look, what, we good, we good, like, what's going on?
Right.
Checking in, traumatized because I'm in disbelief. Number one, number two, I say that as a young lawyer and a former prosecutor, my first job being a prosecutor with these same people, all of the people involved, thinking that these are the people who groomed me, who I looked up to, who I trusted. And, I'm really not going to go into a lot of detail because at this point I have to protect myself and my livelihood as it
Right.
goes to them. But it brings me to tears to know that I, as a lawyer, was taught to believe that justice is supposed to look a certain way. And these people are justice seekers and justice fighters. And to first handedly know that they're lying. Because I know for a fact that they're lying. Because I experienced being lied on.
Man, that's why I texted you that night when I seen those motions come out, because I literally missed all the motions and was live while the motions were coming in. So I'm literally reading them as a new one pops up, and I'm like, no, she did not just write this like that. Wow, that's why it was so late. But I was like, let me text her because there's no way somebody could just keep taking somebody, just lying on them and lying on them and lying on them, and not feel some type of way or react in a way that you probably normally would not. Because I was just like I said yesterday, I had absolute. So first of all, I'll just say
I'm
this.
so glad I was on vacation.
And then my husband said, I think she out the country somewhere. She might not have seen it. Why you
No,
texting
I
her? I'm like,
saw it. I saw
oh,
it, and I was going crazy. I'm calling Max. I'm calling Doug. Like, what do y'all think? Is this real? Am I okay? Did I mess this up? Because the internet's going crazy. They like, Kayla.
listen, because I was like, there is no way in the world that's what you got out of that. There's no way. But there was two things that I said on another live, and I said I could care less what anybody think about you, about Woody, and it's a couple other people. I always say Shark because he always ends up in the crossfire.
And
Now
that's what
Harvey,
he told me. He told
he
me,
always
what?
ends up in the
He
mix.
told me that. He
It's
said,
never directed at him, and he just like stands up and boom, that he catches it. And I was like, because of the intentions of these people, y'all can't lose. I don't care what they felt your delivery was on that stand. I don't care what they felt it should have been. I don't care what dress they bring up. I don't care what they say about Woody. We know who he is, what he was, whatever you want to say about him. But because of the intentions of these people, y'all not gonna lose. Y'all not gonna lose. It's always gonna end up in your favor. That's just gonna piss them off. But it's just like for
But
me
this
to
is, and not to cut you off, it's just like I didn't even get on the internet and react to it because I didn't need to. And then you see the very first day, Woody get on the stand and start talking about that infinity and who was in it and this and that. And those are things that I didn't even know. I did not know he was going to say any of that. So it was like, oh my God, he was telling the truth when he said, y'all know something, I know something about that infinity. And somebody, I didn't know who he was talking about.
but
But
he
I was
but he
like,
said it. He said it. And I was just like, for people to cause okay, so I was in a position on that particular day to be able to watch and make way more videos than I normally would. So I had a lot of downtime that day. So I was literally catching Woody's infinity comments while I was recording. So I literally go off. I'm in the video screaming, okay? Dennis, Dennis. I'm in the video screaming, oh, honey, you celebrate criminals. Oh my God, the things we as people celebrate. This is why we'll never be anything. She doesn't even know these people. Thug don't care about you. And I'm like, that's why I got on there and did that nice, nasty read. Like, okay, don't ever come for me. Don't play with me. But fair is fair. Right is right and wrong is wrong. And regardless of what you feel like they did, like at the end of the day, this works for no one, not even for the victims. Because if you're doing this in a way that it can be overturned and nobody's going to take it seriously, you still did nothing. Like what gets me this, ma'am, yeah, you was on vacation. This training video,
but hold on. Okay, wait. Let me ask you a question. Because I actually confused myself. In one order, she says that they have to go to a training. Now, why do they have to go to a training? Or why is there any remedy, as she put it, if there's no Brady violation, number one? And then she says that there's no Brady violation because the witness is still on the stand. But then she goes back on the other order and says there is. So, can you help me understand that?
what she tried to do is say, hey, we caught this in time. They still have time to react to it. So it's not a Brady violation, but all the misconduct we caught is going to be handled in the other order. Then she referred them to the next order. And then when she got in that order, she said, this isn't the first. These are the violations. And for this misconduct and these violations, she said that there were violations, but she did not feel that they were intentional or purposeful. She just thinks that they basically miscalculated the impeachment statements of Woody. Like you've been impeaching everybody. What did you miscalculate? You've been impeaching everybody.
And this is what, okay, so I'm going to speak on my testimony or I really spoke on it briefly, but I'm going to speak on it now for real because this is my first time going live. I really told myself that after, because I got on the stand on Monday, I left for vacation on Tuesday, and I had to disconnect. But, hold on one second. I gotta let somebody go. Oh, I'm gonna put it in the, chat.
Yeah, honey, my inbox, I had to start sending folks away. Like
Okay, so so I was literally sitting in the courtroom. You guys, I was home in Atlanta for a couple weeks, spending some time with my family, and I just was like, well, I'm gonna go to court every day that I'm home because honestly, I had been feeling like everything that was happening to me was happening to me to bully me and to scare me and to keep me away from the courtroom
away from
and
them.
to intimidate me like I'm on trial.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting in there, and Doug is like, he's talking, and she's like, well, where did you get this information from? And he's like, I got this information from Miss Bumpus. And I have no problem with him saying that because That's where he got the information from. And at this point, we all agree nothing was confidential. Anything could have been shared. So hey, so then I'm literally just sitting there, and all of a sudden she's like, "Well, Miss Bumpus is here, so I can take that information from Miss Bumpus." And I'm like, "Huh?" And so she's like, Doug's like, "Well, okay, let's do it." And I'm like, "What's going on?" I'm sitting right here like, "What you mean, let's do it?"
Let's
So
do
we
what?
go on a she say 2 minute break. I go out in the hallway, Doug like, "Can you do it?" I'm like, "I guess I can do it, sure." He's like, "The only thing we're gonna be talking about is the off the record meeting." I'm like, "Okay." So we go back in the courtroom, and I get on the stand. They ask their questions, cool, whatever. And to be clear, people say that I sounded confused and all these different things, but what I wasn't confused on is what I was supposed to talk about, which is the off
Right.
the record meeting. I had no idea that they were going to ask me who was in the room at this point, who was in the room. I think that was so unfair.
I felt like she was
Because
getting agitated with you.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't know the answers to the questions because how can I clock who's in the room and pay attention to Woody and listen to Simone and this, and that? And that was the only thing I was confused about was who was in the room at every single point. I did not remember. And I did remember the off the record conversation. And you see, when the defense was asking me questions about it, when they tried to ask certain questions, she would say, "That's outside the scope." But she let Adrian ask me all these questions that had nothing to do with the conversation between Simone and I. And even the part about she said, "Well, when did you realize it was an ex parte meeting?" A lot of people thought I was saying I didn't know what an ex parte meeting was, but that's not what I was saying. What I was saying was, y'all told me, y'all, that's the word, y'all
Uh-huh.
told me that this is the only place I could talk to Mr. Copeland. So I'm sitting here thinking that I'm about to talk to Mr. Copeland, having no idea that a meeting is about to start. So it wasn't until the meeting was over that I processed that I was in a meeting, and that's what I was saying. And even in, a lot of people's like, "Well, why didn't you take notes? Why didn't you do this?" Even if I did, why would I just be bringing notes with me to a courtroom from
That you
something
weren't. That
like
you
that?
weren't. Yeah.
So then on top of that, they let investigator Long get up and testify after he sat in the courtroom and listened to me testify, which is like literally unheard of. Usually one witness who's testifying to the same matter cannot sit in the courtroom
And not be in the
and
courtroom.
listen to the witness before them. So the only thing that and then coincidentally he agrees with everything I say except for the two comments that Woody makes, and then he trips himself up twice.
Twice.
But
When he
I'm
got up
not
there, I was just
credible.
like, he's been sitting there this whole time. Like, why is he even allowed to testify? Not only did he sit there the whole time, then they left and went on break. So she could have went ahead and got him prepped for it, not just in 2 minutes. Then they come back after lunch. Now all of a sudden or after break, and he's got something to say. Like, that was so crazy. And the other thing that was so crazy was the fact that yesterday I woke up to at least between 6 and 9 inboxes on TikTok that said, "Did you hear Melnick was suspended? Melnick is suspended." At that time, that's like 5 o'clock in the morning for me. So I'm
Mhm.
like, it was just people just text. So I'm like, well, let me wait until I see something. It wasn't until probably about 30, 45 minutes after that, Thugger Daily ended up posting the order. And I'm like, where did this come from? Like, what is this about? But what I'm saying is, I knew by 9 a.m. Georgia time that Melnick was suspended. For what?
Mhm.
I didn't know. For who? I
Mhm.
didn't know. Why? I didn't know. But I knew he was suspended all the way in Arizona.
Mhm.
And I was thinking like, oh well, there isn't gonna be any court. I left, went made my coffee, started
Mhm.
work. I didn't even have the TV on because I was like, Woody already said he wasn't testifying without Melnick. Melnick's been there. Melnick's not gonna be there. He's suspended. There's not gonna be any court. I came in and my TV was going. I'm like, oh, maybe they get ready to tell the jury. Maybe we're
Mhm.
going to the next witness. He got on that stand. I'm like, so nobody's gonna say anything about Melnick being suspended.
Mhm.
And I'm like, well, maybe they think maybe Melnick texted him. Maybe this happened. Like, I'm just thinking 1,000 things until lunch. And Woody comes back in there and says, hey, I was just out there and somebody said my lawyer is suspended. I'm not comfortable testifying without him. And I'm like, all of y'all knew that his lawyer was suspended.
Mhm.
And y'all just let him testify. I was so pissed yesterday. Like I said, I didn't even go live until late last night when people kind of bullied me into it because I couldn't do it. I was so pissed yesterday because I had my own little theory. I was like, this is a setup because in my personal theory, y'all have no substance to this, but my personal theory, only thing Woody knew about that immunity deal in his first testimony is that if I plead the fifth, I'm going to jail. That's the only part he was
Mhm.
worried about. He comes back, takes that information they claim didn't happen, and tears this thing off the hinges about this infinity.
Mhm.
Soon as they figured out that Woody knew how to work that immunity deal, not once, but twice, all of a sudden Melnick can't talk to him no more.
Yep.
Like the timing of this is so. I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I am not that person. But yesterday, I was on that type of time.
Steady, you was there yesterday, right?
I was.
Okay, you what? Come on,
Ooh,
tell us. Give us the tea.
Um, tea. I don't drink tea. I drink water and liquor.
Oh
Um,
my God.
nah, I ain't gonna hold you. That yesterday and today boring as hell. Just to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Should have brought a pillow and a blanket. But yesterday, you got to see a lot of bickering that you don't see between Love and Hilton. I mean, squawking chickens argument.
Oh no, that's all the time. What you mean? Who don't see that?
The people who aren't in
I've
there.
never seen that. I'm just now
You know
starting
what I'm
to see
saying?
what
Oh,
since she
okay,
came
yeah, I
back from
forgot. In the
vacation.
court, that's all they do is make faces, and Simone look like she just got to ignore the lady.
And I ain't gonna hold you. They definitely look like they could have played on the WNBA and got double doubles for sure. Them, I didn't know they was that damn tall. Like, yeah, nah, they look like the Will Chamberlain sisters. But so you go, hey man, listen. Um, the Infinity thing. Somebody asked me about that last night. I'm gonna be honest with it. That's a perfect setup to exonerate Lil Jeff. I'm gonna tell you why. Because if my homie tell me, hey, can you give me a rental? And I say, yeah, that's it. That don't mean I have knowledge of what you're doing with the rental, all of that stuff. So if, and it's just me, I'm a fake lawyer, I'm a hood lawyer, I ain't passed the bar, LSATs, none of that. If I'm buying still, as soon as I get on cross, one of the first questions I'm asking you is, hey, about that infinity that you were talking about, did Jeffrey Williams have any idea what you were going to do with it? The answer is going to be no. Did Jeffrey Williams know that when you gave it, did you tell Jeffrey Williams you gave it to anybody else to use? The answer is going to be no. So just based off of those two things, that's it. You know nothing about the car. You knew nothing about the keys and the possession of the car taking place or anything like that. Out his mouth, he said, I asked to get me a car, to get me a rental. Is
Mhm.
his words verbatim.
Mhm.
Well,
So I get people upset about him bringing up the infinity, but if you goddamn dumb as hell, or you just one of those everything somebody says is bad, then I guess all right, cool.
on top of that, that made me go back to that Hertz rental car dude, and I think it might have been still the one thing he asked him and said, if I come to you with somebody else's ID, can I rent a car? And the manager from Hertz could not answer that. he was like, and then he started looking through the rental contract again. And I'm like, who don't know the answer? Who don't know the answer to that? Anybody who's ever rented a car know, anybody who's ever done anything, you can't walk anywhere with anybody else's ID and do anything in this world. But that Hertz rental car manager did not answer that question and could not answer that question. He said he'd have to check into it.
And
Yeah,
I just think, I honestly think that at this point, like I said on live earlier today that I honestly think there's going to be an energy shift in the way that people view Woody at this point based off of today. I think that because I was in the chat and I saw a different type of energy than I have seen previously. And isn't today, correct me if I'm wrong, the first time we are able to actually get through the interrogation videos today and yesterday?
yeah. Without these
Yeah.
uh, long comfort breaks and walking my
Mhm.
dog.
Right. So I think today people really got to, feel and see how this case is started and it's
Yeah.
built. And I mean, yeah, we saw parts of the video before, but I don't think we ever just got to sit and watch the videos.
Well, we did, but the breaks that were in between, you couldn't tell me which part we were on.
Right.
And that's the messed up part because I mean, you know as well as I do, we can't really say, but the jury that's in there, that's gonna take some work. That's gonna take some work, shouty. So
What you mean?
But one thing I can say also about the videos is like I put this in the chat today in Long Crime. And it was like, well, he said he would tell on everybody, including Simone.
He did.
He told y'all that's what he would do.
Listen, well, I said one thing that he keeps saying just from somebody who's just 1,700 miles away. I was like, what this looks like the Woody that we saw in the first testimony and who we're seeing now, the one before was like, I lied about everything. Okay, well, yes, yes, yes. Are you saying yes to get me to stop? Yes. Well, I don't recall. I don't recall. Like, so it was just like back and forth flipping and just very agitated. I told everybody yesterday when I was on live, when he walked in there with that suit on, I'd have been like, next, he came in here in some mess. I'm not fooling with him. What's going on? I've never seen him like this. Like, I'm not getting ready to question this man. But then when he got up there, Woody started saying, I did some things in my life. And who I was in 2015 is not who I am today.
Yo.
Anytime I went in front of them cops, I was a victim. If I make you the victim, I'm justified in my response. I'm going to retaliate any way I want to. I felt he did something to me, so I did something back. But what I'm not going to have on my conscience is lies that I told affect these men's lives. And that wasn't what we saw before in the first one. So I think now that the people that are seeing him now, even though people feel like, oh, he snitched or he did this or he did that, and people have their feelings about what he should have done, I think somebody is going to be able to see, like, from my perspective, now it looks like y'all can just let him go. Like, y'all can't mess with him. Y'all, it really, the state really look like a bitter baby mama. They look like Taraji and Acrimony. Like, they're just going to hold on to him. Like, I don't see what they're getting out of this besides these tapes. And what are these tapes going to do besides that? This makes me feel like everybody else's testimony has some, like, it's leaning on these tapes.
Well, it depends on the believability of what he's saying. Because to me personally, I thought when I looked at it the second time, not the first time, because we've seen these tapes before, them detectives didn't believe shit he said. I mean, didn't believe a thing he said. Pardon my profanity. Didn't believe a thing that he was saying. To me,
Mm-mm.
it sounded like to me because the first time I'm like, "Ooh, it's ugly," but the second time I'm listening to Gaither laughing this man's face,
They not
and
taking no notes.
yeah,
They not doing nothing.
it definitely had the feel of we just want to hear something because they kept on saying the streets is saying this, the streets is saying that, but nobody came out and said anything. Well, last I remember, you can't put your ear to the street and hear anything. So somebody in the streets would have had to have told you something, but they didn't put it on the record as far as an interrogation tape goes.
Right.
There you go.
And then, a lot of people were asking me about impeachment and a hostile witness. I could have called it immediately that the state was gonna make him a hostile witness. But at the end of the day, I don't even think that is who wouldn't be a hostile witness after you done put me on the stand for 2 weeks, let me go on break for 4, 6 weeks. Now you're about to put me back on the stand and ask me the same questions. And then you're asking me the same questions over and over and over again.
After I found out that y'all lied to me. After I found out that y'all lied to me. Like, now that he knows that they lied, like, you get what he give you. And then her getting caught, like, and you can tell, like, I just, like I
Oh, with
said,
the witness instruction?
yeah. They, like, you,
Pamela, I mean, Kayla, you should answer Pamela's question.
Where is it? It's
It
moving too
says,
fast.
why all of a sudden does Woody have federal immunity?
How is it all of a sudden? What do you mean? I think that's not the.
No,
Okay.
because if you remember the first time, he wasn't granted that. So the second time,
he has,
now, you get what I'm saying?
But I don't know. Did we confirm that? I know they both said yes.
well, the only
But
thing they said before
how
when
how are
asked,
they giving him federal immunity? I know it's youth immunity, but I don't think
that's what
that.
I was
I think that Melnick advised him, and I can be wrong, but it was my understanding that he advised him that is not accurate. It's the same immunity deal. They told him. They just told him yes. I don't know where they're getting that from. They both just said yes. When I say they both, I mean Simone and the judge, but I think that he's been advised that that may not be the case.
ooh-wee. And the only thing they got out of that before was that, as usual, Love did her copy paste and literally copy pasted the statute from one immunity, but titled it something else. So I'm not a lawyer, so I don't know which one she might have copy pasted from. So I don't know if that was one of their tricks to make him think he didn't have it, or if he actually has it. But I was like, sir, I don't know if that's true. Like,
And
I
then
would test. I wouldn't test that theory.
even going back to the youth immunity, like, that is a type of immunity that one is given whether they want it or not. It's a gift. But it's supposed to be because the testimony of the individual is so important that it outweighs someone's constitutional right to be able to plead the fifth. That's how important your testimony is, because it's in the
I like
public's interest that we get you to testify. I'm not connecting the dots with that.
It's all about the tapes. That
that's
immunity
what I'm
deal is
saying.
literally all about the tapes. If the jurors take those tapes, they know the first time around that Mr. Copa's testimony on that stand was going to be theatrics. They knew that. Whole bunch of circus act stuff. But the main goal, the main objective has always been in my eyes. Let's get these tapes in here and see if the jurors see through this BS clown act in this circus show, if that's what it is, or
Hmm.
if he's telling the truth. Because charisma is a hell of a thing to put up on a witness stand. If
He's
you have
becoming
likability,
he's
it's gonna be
becoming
hard for them to say
relatable.
no to you. Go ahead, I'm listening.
Oh, I was just saying he's becoming relatable. I said that before. They let him get on that stand and become relatable. They let him be seen as a human, and at that point, that's going to be their biggest hurdle. Because at this point, before that, you had at least that he was a criminal, you had his criminal record, and that he was a self-proclaimed liar. They should have left it there. When they let it get from there and let people laugh at his jokes and let him and Miss Weaver start having their little banter and stuff, and the jury's able to see all of that, he became a person. He became not so scary. He became funny. He became entertaining. Then you see the social media blow up on the outside of things. It's just like, once y'all let him do that, I yeah, I don't know how that's going to work. I just feel like Woody's testimony is going to be a wash. You're going to have people that believe it. You're going to have people that don't. But at the end of the day, if it was somebody like me, he said he a liar. I'm not about to go through all this and figure out what he didn't lie about. I'm not.
Exactly.
Next
That's the
person.
thing. Where at
Next
what
person.
point do we figure out when was he lying and when wasn't he lying and when was he
Just
telling? Like, how do
yeah.
we know?
We don't. Next person. Like I'm not sitting in that jury room and going through all these man statements and all these hours. We don't know.
And then,
We don't
okay,
know.
speaking of that, the day when the jury came back and she asked them the question about can they di- disregard all of the testimony from June 12th at 3 p.m. Look, y'all gonna talk about me because y'all say I don't remember nothing. But honestly, let's be for real. How do any? I was sitting there in shock when no one stood up
Not one person.
because
You
I was
was?
like, yeah, because number
I mean, tell
one,
the truth, but on the flip side, I'm like somebody writing a book, somebody got a movie going, like they're going to finish this out. But
no, because
I
listen,
was
I don't even think
surprised.
they
Like that's
I
not
don't
good.
understood
think
the
any of them people
question.
writing no books. There's maybe
Well, I
two
can't
people
see
that I
them.
see.
I'm in Arizona. Okay, I
No,
haven't seen them.
I don't think they even understood the question. The way she said the question was so complicated. I didn't understand the question. I only knew what she was trying to say because I knew what she was trying to say. But I don't. It was a very complicated verbiage, and I was like, "What?" And then, how can you honestly say you know what happened before, even if you remember everything? How can you know which happened at 3 o'clock and what happened before 3 o'clock? Like, that's unbelievable.
And it
And
said
then give me
after
your
the break,
notes.
like after the
Can I ask
break.
y'all a simple question? What the hell you remember about 2 months ago to the date?
What do I remember about it?
What do
Nothing.
you remember June 14th, 2024?
I had to pay my car note.
I'm about to say a few things, but I'm sorry. As far as Woody, like you gonna remember the antics, the entertainment, the theatrics, but to say
Do
that
you
you
remember any freaking video that came out interrogation wise? And if you can't, please tell me the substance of it. Because I guarantee you, you can't.
yes, baby. Give me just a second. I would remember what part was played when.
That's it right there. They don't
But that's
remember
the
none of that crap.
but
They
that's
don't
the
remember none of
crazy
that.
part because they're asking them to disregard something, and then if I, as a human, something does stand out, and it wasn't in the second part, but I remember it from the first part, like that's
But you
scary.
don't. But you don't.
Thank
And that
you.
is
Go get
so
that, baby.
crazy.
That's the thing. They don't know what part came when, and if it's something they were supposed to forget and they didn't, who's to say it wasn't from the second time? If it was in the
That's what
second
I'm
part,
saying.
like that's the part I'm saying. I'm not saying they know exactly what happened because I mean, I have to say after a break, Glanville takes 6 breaks. You don't know what break it was after.
So once again, there you go. That proves that no, they don't know what the hell went on. They don't know nothing about nothing.
Maybe because you seen them. I was like, how do you forget all of this?
To me, if you would have told me disregard Woody's whole entire testimony, then yeah, I get that part. But if you're telling me to disregard the interrogation video, if you go back and play what she said, she's talking about videos and all that crap. I honestly forgot that they even played testimony videos. I'm just being fair. Like I BS you. I forgot that they played any damn testimony videos.
So you
Oh,
saying you think
well,
that
I
they
forgot
really
where it
can
stopped.
disregard it?
Can they disregard what he said? He said nothing. He didn't say anything. What you're asking, really what you're asking is, can they disregard his personality? That's really what you're asking. Because he didn't say anything that was worth remembering, except for I plead the fifth. I'm
Oh
an
no,
adult,
No,
I'm
no,
grown,
he
I
did
plead
a
the
full
fifth.
day. No, he did a
no. He
full
did a
day
full
of
day and a half
testimony.
after that.
What do you remember about
Yeah,
that? I'm asking, what do you remember
I'm a
about the full day?
liar.
I'm a
What else?
liar.
I'm
What
a
else?
liar.
Um,
He said he was a liar. That's when he got through the
What
his
else?
interaction with Hilton. It's going to, the
What
rest
else?
of it was just interaction stuff and entertainment. But they
But what
can't,
I'm
you can't
saying,
say they're
Steady,
not going to
is
remember anything of him. You think they
what
don't
I'm saying
remember
is how do
anything?
they remember? How do they remember what they remember from which day? Is what I'm saying. If they remember a whole bunch of stuff, how can they say, "Oh, this came from June 12th before 3 p.m.?" How do they know what they don't and do remember and when exactly it came?
You're from the standpoint of you're from the standpoint of if a bell just rang, you can't unhear it, right? Is that fair to say,
Mm-hmm.
Kayla?
You
Yes,
can't
You as
unring
well?
it.
yes.
Okay. But what if I told you, hey, for the sake of these individuals from these 7 months that you've been here, can you disregard that bell being rang?
You said for seven
No,
months?
You hell. I ain't gonna get on your bad side.
no,
For
they say I can't
I
work
know the
with
words
nothing.
to
So
never utter to you. Forgive me. I'm just not gonna mess up the first time. Can you forgive me? I don't think that's a phrase I should learn.
I can't. Okay, I'll. Okay. See, Julie said she would have stood up. That's for you,
Julie's
Ceddy. They
line.
got a question.
They have a question for me?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's up
Cool.
there.
You sit up there.
Shetty, can you share a little insight on the jury? What did you observe today? Hell no, I'm not gonna tell you about. Well, all right, I'll put it this way. I'll be because one, I can't
Sorry, you
talk
said
about.
only two of them can write a book now.
I'll put it this way. I can't say the ages or anything like that because you're not supposed to. I'm not supposed to really give y'all descriptions about the jury because then I go to jail, and I ain't going to jail on a goddamn cat. I mean, a super chat. So that's that. I will just say this jury to me seems like they take this stuff very seriously as far as everything. That's as much as I can give you. I can't give you race. I can't give you gender. I can't give you ethnicity, religious, none of that. All I can tell you is these people that y'all don't see, I believe they take this stuff really, really, really seriously. If you can read between the lines, cool. If you try to read between the lines too much and get cross-eyed, you're still in the right place. That's as much as I can say it. I get it, Sadie Nash, you're a fake lawyer, F you and all that stuff. But once you get out your feelings, just listen to what I'm saying. It's going to take some elbow grease to convince these individuals because if you step back, this is death by 1,000 cuts. That's what this is. That's why they have all of these damn acts against Lil Jeff and everybody else because they have to paint an illustration. The best thing that they did was get a speedy trial. That's the best thing that they did. Because at the end of the day, they rocked them back on their feet because now you see how unprepared and stupid the state is as far as how they handle it. I'm not calling these ladies dumb or nothing like that because they obviously went to college and passed and got some very high paying jobs. But, well, one does, one doesn't. But that's neither here nor there. If that answers your question, cool. If not, you want to cuss me out and all that stuff, I get it. But I ain't about to sit up here and risk going to jail for shit, for nothing.
Right.
Well, maybe one thing, but that's a whole different thing.
Well, I think that it definitely was boring today.
Man.
I mean, it was boring until like I woke up at the end when I see they still trying the same old stuff. Like, come on, just be prepared. Just give the information. Just come on. Like, but other than that, today was just, I guess, because we've seen the tapes, and I guess because of the whole week of watching where they were just in there going over what they want to take out, all the redactions and all of that with the other tape, and got all the way to June 9th before this whole recusal actually happened. But yeah, it was pretty. It looked like Moody was asleep.
Yeah, sorry, y'all.
Well,
Miss Sylvia, if she's in here, I dropped the link. They want you to get on.
Kayla, you see this right here?
What?
It says, if I was Thug Sis, I would never forgive you for not convincing Woody to man up and take accountability for once he caused this. Um,
Forgive me as a stand-in attorney doing somebody a favor? What was I supposed to? Okay, go ahead, City. Sorry.
So you were supposed. So Seti that shouldn't risk going to jail, but you should. Like,
I first of all, I as an attorney, I'm gonna let City talk. I could not advise in. I mean, I can give you the information. I can lead you to the water, but I can't make you drink. You know. Where you going?
Ms. Bumpus, can I ask you this question?
Mm-hmm. No,
Who were
answer what you respond to that first.
who hold on. Who were you an advocate for? Who are you paid to represent for their best interest?
Mr. Copeland.
Okay. So that means to everybody else, the person that she was supposed to help is not the person who's not paying her to be there for them. So even if you disagree with anything, she did her job. Now, if you don't like the way she did her job, that's a personal problem. But at the end of the day, if there was anything wrong or done wrong on behalf of Melnick or Ms. Bumpus, do you understand how bad that would look on the YSL part? Because the whole entire state was calling them dirty.
they are
The state literally said that Melnick and Bumpus were dirty, that they were helping out everybody else. So they should prove exactly what you just said.
they
That's
basically
exactly.
they basically said everybody in there part of YSL except for them.
I had to ask it that way because at the end of the day, y'all just learn who this woman is. And then to the state didn't. Okay, so let me ask y'all this. I have a huge ego. You ain't been on my goddamn Instagram and seen that sweatpants picture. Shut up. Or maybe you have. Definitely got a huge ego. But no, I think y'all want people to do illegal stuff like this is the movies or something, or TV shows and all that stuff. Can't do that.
Just to speak on that, City, I got to say something about that. That's also why there are certain questions when I was on the stand that I answer as the way I answered them because I'm still an attorney and I still took an oath and I'm still an officer of the court. So I think people wanted me to get up there and say everything that was defense friendly. And if it wasn't defense friendly, then I couldn't say it. But all I could do is tell the truth. And this whole time, the only thing that I have been trying to do is honor my oath and do what's right. And then another thing I want to say is how come everybody keeps saying I need to be quiet and stop talking on the internet and on the YouTube, but y'all don't say nothing to Max, Doug, and they are actual attorneys on the case. That is so crazy to me.
And last I checked, you fine.
Fire.
I don't have nothing to say to nobody else, and not only that, like everybody has something to say on the internet at some point in time during this case. Like I don't get where that. I at this point I don't know. That's why I sent you that text that day because I was like, it's just like damned if you do, damned if you don't.
And for
I mean,
everybody who think I'm cloud chasing, yes, I am. Thank you. Next. There you go. With 52 million views on YouTube, I'm cloud chasing. Yes, you are correct. That 100%. You caught me. Now what?
Why?
wow.
Yeah.
My ego
everybody
is
is
so big.
everybody is clout chasing at this point. When people say I'm clout chasing, I'll be like, how am I clout chasing off of my own name?
Oh, I told you I got that the other day. I was celebrating criminals. I was rooting for bad guys. And I was dumb because these people, the thug, don't even know me. That was the think pieces I got the other day when I did that little nice nasty read, because I was just like, oh, so you missed the other 108 days of misconduct, Brady violations, and all the other mess that's not going on behind closed doors. It's going on in front of the TV cameras. Like, you missed all of that. Like, you obviously haven't seen my TikTok page because I'm all on the side of fair trials anyway. But if you want to feel like that, that's cool.
Yeah, I was going to say we do have to appreciate the detractors and the dichotomous individuals who have a very, very obscure vision of what you're supposed to do because they live a life that a lot of people don't want to live at all. Yeah, I ain't gonna tell them what you was just driving there, but it
Oh,
costs more to.
she let them
eh,
know.
she did. Why you did that?
Earlier today, somebody said something like she just doing
Well,
something,
because
something
somebody
riding
was,
around in her
yeah,
Bentley. She said,
somebody
actually,
said,
Oh shit! Why you did that, Shouty?
but no, Natasha, she did a super chat, and I don't know if it went away, but okay. I think that she said, "What do I think of the judge not questioning?" Oops, thanks for the super chat, Natasha. But what do I think about the judge not questioning Simone about the Infinity situation when she got back? And I'm not gonna lie to you, I was super upset, and I kept asking like different defense attorneys, "Can you guys file a motion for reconsideration and call Simone and whatever?" And I also noted that um Judge Whitaker was like, "Well, if the ex parte meeting wasn't complete, how come you didn't let me know?" And I really want to know, when was I supposed to let you know, and how was I supposed to let you know? Was I supposed to like stand up in the middle of open court and say, "I know I don't have nothing to do with this anymore, but I would like when, how?"
but
But
you
I
don't
feel
want to
like if I
why
was
they.
held to that standard, I feel like Simone should have been stood up and said, "Look, this is the
Especially
truth."
since she tried to go off the record soon as she got back. She
Hmm?
pulled that mess right in front of the cameras, right in front of everybody. After we knew she was the culprit of the
Okay.
last one, she came right in front of them on her first day back at court and said, can I go out there and tell him real quick that he's going to have to repeat some? No, you don't get to go have no more secret conversations with nobody." Like, why are you getting? That's how quick you do it. That's how easy you do it. Like, her, I used to have a soft spot for Hilton because I was just like, man, she just up under love, this and the other. That's why I said on this side, for somebody who's not in the courtroom, it looked like that she was kind of just following love around like a little lost puppy, and then it comes off that way, like she was following orders. It's not until she got back from this vacation or week off or what have you that I'm finally starting to accidentally see in the camera the bickering back and forth, or her blatantly looking straight while love is on the side of her ear going, or I did not see that on camera before this break. Now, after this break, it's like, ooh, they might be tussling a little bit. But then she comes back, asks for an off the record conversation, and then after that, she pulled the whole situation where she said all the information had been verified. It almost caused another mistrial. It's like, ma'am, you just got back. We've been arguing about your mess all week.
Right. And hi Kat, how you doing, Kat? We love you, Kat. Theory sent a super chat. He said, "Miss Bumpus, how do you keep poise and professionalism in the face of all this scrutiny from said peers?" Okay, so
Gee,
this is what I would like to say. I don't think a lot of you guys realize what I actually did when I got on the stand. I actually had to, in front of the whole world, go against my peers. I had to, this whole thing, I've had to go against people that when this is over, I'm still going to have to see. And I'm still going to have to work with. I don't think you guys consider that at all. So I appreciate even the thought or the consideration of me trying to remain professional, because it's hard, because I be in a courtroom, y'all. I'm not gonna lie. Every time Adrian walk past me, bro, I be so mad.
Am I tripping or is she breaking up? Is she in the matrix a little bit?
Oh yeah, and her mic just went off. She was breaking up for a second.
Yeah.
Definitely looking like you're in the doctor's office
Okay,
right
there
now.
it goes.
Girl, close up
It's
medicine. We just sit in silence, or what do we do here?
fine.
Okay, there it goes. I couldn't hear. I thought she was glitching.
She definitely was glitching.
Oh, okay.
When I'm sipping on, I gotta save my Hennessy bottle, so I'm gonna do so.
But I am gonna say this, y'all. Can y'all hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
I'm staying away. I am staying away.
Until when?
I'm staying away.
Nah, you double it back
I
when
was about that's what they want. They want you away. They want Melnick away. Anybody that's going to stand up to them or make them have to look themselves in the mirror. They want y'all gone. That's what they want. They want them boys to feel like they are alone in there.
That made it worse. Okay, y'all. Can y'all hear me now?
yeah, it sound like you was
Okay,
Yeah.
good. I got Wi-Fi now.
it sound like you was disciplined or something.
No, cause I was in the car and I forgot. I'm gonna be honest. I forgot. Y'all know I don't remember nothing. I forgot that I was on
You don't
Central
recall?
Time. I forgot that I was on Central Time, so I had to hurry up and get on live. Steady.
Yes, ma'am.
Somebody said they want. They said, "What are your thoughts?"
On what exactly? I need
I
specificity.
don't
I'm not
know.
Oh, that's all they said.
on the trial as a whole.
Look what
Um,
somebody said. Y'all just be saying anything. Look at this. What are your thoughts on this?
you should have been stayed away, Kayla. You should have never stepped in, knowing your relationship with Yak, Thug, and Woody. Stay away. The power of Christ compels you. Stay away. Don't do your profession that you went to school for. Don't you dare. Don't
And
you
don't you
dare.
don't be from Atlanta. You can't be
I,
from Atlanta.
you know where I'm from. How about
Oh,
this?
well, the defendants, they want to know. Thank you for the super chat.
How about this, Kayla? Did the YSL family disregard you or embrace you?
What you think?
No, we're not doing that, baby. No, 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 no. Did the YSL family reject or accept you?
You already know the answer to that.
I know a lot more. This ain't me. This ain't we. This ain't us.
Y'all know that they embraced me.
All right. So back to the stuff at hand.
But when I
Get
say
back to
I'm
the
staying away, I'm just staying away, but I'm still going to go in the courtroom. Just, I'm staying away from involvement. That y'all keep talking about why I won't represent Woody. I'm not doing that.
do they
Thank you.
realize after next week he's gone? Like
It,
there's
I
nothing
thought
else?
he done. He just gotta get through this last video.
okay, this is the last question I'm getting off y'all, but how do y'all think Woody's gonna handle Cross?
He better handle it the same exact way. If not,
Same as that way.
that's gonna be bad. If he seemed ultra friendly and all this stuff, and for all of what he just said about I'm only here to clear my conscience with my shiny suit that look like a deacon that can never make pastor. No, he better do the exact same thing
So
that he just did.
I gotta send you this. He got to. He
he
got
got
to. He
to.
got to do the exact
That's
same
the
thing,
only way
or
he gonna
that's
make
what's going. That's the only way that it's gonna go the right way.
if he deviate from that, it seems like he gonna end up in a world of trouble.
And they're not gonna. Then he gonna be actually credible for the state if he do anything different.
Because they will point it out. They will say, mark my words, something to the effect of, you seem more friendly with them
Uh
than you
huh.
do with us. Why
And
is that?
this is the last thing I'll say because I'm about to get off. But Melnick don't owe nobody $15,000. So don't come on my chat
What?
talking about he owes somebody $15,000. People get on the internet and say anything. I'm not gonna accept no Melnick slander will not be tolerated in my chat. I'm gonna block anybody that keeps talking about Melnick. And with that being said, I will
Hold on,
see you
hold on.
guys
Don't accept
later.
no steady Nash slander either, too, please.
Said you deserve slander. But thank you guys for getting on with me. I know you guys miss me. Y'all, we kept 3,400 people on here for an hour.
I know that's right. I know that's right.
You the ops now. I'm finna put out a video on you now. It's
All
over with.
right. Yeah. Okay. Bye, y'all. Love y'all.
All right, have a good
All right,
one.
baby. Love you too. I'll catch up with you.
Okay.